Hello?
You're calling court administration. What's your question?
Yeah, I asked your name. I just want to know who I'm speaking with.
For who? For Travis County?
Okay, yes, for Travis County. Let me give you my information. I received some time in jail. My phone's glitch like this all the time. I don't know what to do about it. I haven't been able to get law enforcement. But let me give you my information. I have a court case. I keep getting court cases when my abuser's mad. So let me give you just one moment while I get the information. Yes, I told you that I was getting it one moment. I get court cases when my abuser's mad. So I'm calling to check on it. I'm just trying to get the email that I'm trying to find the text message I was sent saying that I had a court date on the 25th. Just one moment while I retrieve it. Can I give you my name and information and then you check? Supposedly I have a court date on the 25th. I'm sorry?
Do you have the cause number?
No, I can't find it.
Do you have the case or
Can I give you my name?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. a.m.
April 1st, court 9?
That's correct. County court number 9.
How? What case do I have now?
What do you mean? What happened?
Each time my abuser's mad, I get a court case from nowhere emailed to me or texted. So what happened? I don't know what happened to have a case. This repeatedly keeps happening.
I have no idea.
Well, I need to know. No one.
Court 9.
You have a court case. What's your name? And you don't know what it's about? For April.
It says here that it's about false alarm.
I got already served 4 months in jail on those false charges, and it was dismissed.
Well, then you can talk to the judge about that because our department can't do anything about that.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, sir. I have no clue. Who do I talk to? So I wrote the judge. He never wrote me back. And they found me mentally incompetent to cover for false charges. I'm just trying to interrupt the pattern of every time this man's upset that I get a case mailed out to me. How, if I got time served in jail on the false charges, do I have it? Is it another case and it was dismissed? Why is it all these glitches that are nothing's ever resolved with the glitches? I contacted the attorney. I told her I was in jail on false. I'm just telling you, I contacted the attorney. The attorney won't call me back and cover for the false arrest. I wrote her telling her that I was arrested reporting a death threat. I wrote the district attorney. They lied on me and said that I was in a cell that was messed up and all these other kind of crimes to make it seem like I was combative and mentally ill, but it was a blatant lie. It was someone else. I heard the conversation of an inmate next to me. But they blamed me for what this inmate was doing and put it in my records. So I'm just not quite certain on how to fight the corruption. If I serve 3-4 months in jail on false charges, trying to flee abuse, how in the world are you going to charge me with the same thing I served 4 months in jail for on the false charges? If it was dismissed, how are you going to make it? How do you make misdemeanors into a felony and don't get charges yourself? And leave someone trapped in that nightmare and can't do anything about it. I'm not quite certain. What was your name? What was your name? They hung up. My calls are spoofed. I don't even know if it was a real call. Yes, I was in jail for this case number. And I served 4 months on false charges. I wrote the district attorney and the judge telling them that I was arrested trying to report a death threat. It never got a response and was deprived of my constitutional right to appear at court and framed with mental illness, and they wouldn't even let me go to the court date for the mental illness trial.
What is the class number?
C1C R2 4211361.
Okay, so this is a misdemeanor. It's with the county attorney's office.
Okay, one moment. What's that number?
512-854-9415.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You want me to transfer you over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I can't talk with a live person.
To speak to an operator, press 8
Okay.
now. On the other line or assisting another individual. If you're calling to drop charges, receive a case status update, or an emergency protective order, please press 3 to be transferred to the victim witness counselor. If you're calling to apply for a
Board of Division, how can I help you?
Yes, I'd like information on how to do it. What's a civil protective order?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
What's a civil protective order?
You wanted to know, like, the whole process into getting one?
What is it?
So it's a civil order that prevents continuing of any violence that's going on. So this mainly falls into family violence, stalking, sexual assault, and trafficking. It's signed by a judge, and it can be up to 2 years or longer, 3, 5, or even a lifetime order.
Okay, so here's the problem. My abuser's using government officials. So when he's mad, I have false arrest. I get cases emailed to me and all kinds of different things, court dates and all kind of bizarre things. I get when on false charges, they deprive me of my constitutional rights to go to court, frame me with mental illness and say that they're doing it, deprive me of bonds, put me in maximum security, deprive me of recreation, slander me on documentation to not get accountability. And I haven't been able to interrupt it because it's government officials and police. I have it recorded where my freedom was taken trying to report a death threat. And then I did all these grievances in Del Valley Jail that weren't answered. Inmates threatening me, and it's happened at multiple different false arrests, and I realized someone was setting it up. And they slandered me with an experience with another inmate that was right next to me. I heard the whole encounter. She said I could make complaints because her cell was filthy, and it had an odor. And she would keep me up all hours of the night yelling, scaring me just from nowhere. And they would not move her. So nonetheless, some kind of mental health person came and her room, cell was all messed up. And he said, they said, can we clean the cell? And she said, no, they're my things. So they put in my documentation what happened with another party. But it's all on camera footage for anyone willing to do law enforcement. So I'm not sure what channels to take if my abuser I have all these emails where he's stating that he has the government on a leash and the police department's bought off and paid in full, how I combat that.
But he's family, you said?
It's a stalker, someone that I met online.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
And right now I'm getting death threats to another location, and the police department was trying to cover for it. And I have witnesses to how my phone's been reacting. Like when I state something on my phone, someone invited me out for a drink, and I said I don't drink. I don't,
What?
10 minutes later.
Like hacking into your phone?
Yeah, 10 minutes later, I got a death threat. If I went out for the drink, then it would be my last drink. And I reported it to the police, that and cyber stalking, and the police would not investigate any of it in this new location. But that's a repeated pattern. So I'm not quite sure what direction.
I'm sorry. Do you have like an address for this person? Because that's the main thing that they ask. It's an address, maybe date of birth. We don't really need a date of birth, but like an address or a phone number for for the person that you want.
Yes, I have his business. I have his business information, but when I go in to do a protection order in person, the police department comes and gives me a criminal trespass and makes me leave, sometimes pushing and shoving me. They did that at George Allen. The police department comes, interrupts me getting a protection order or security or marshals. At George Allen, police department, 2 police came and interrupted me getting a protection order. Frank Crowley, 2 different times, I was removed for trying to get a protection order and intimidated and mistreated for trying to get a protection order. In Fort Worth, 2 different times the police department came and interrupted me getting a protection order. They've came to domestic violence organizations to interrupt me.
What?
Yes, I was drugged out of New Beginnings in Garland, Texas, and assaulted and arrested for trying to attend a domestic violence support group. And nothing's been done. But the reason why I'm calling today is because I assume that he's mad. I'm sorry?
I mean, you also have the option to come in person into our office if you think that's best. You want to talk to someone in person?
Well, I get the police department keeps coming. What if they come again? They came all other locations and no one did anything about it. They had no accountability. They
No,
came to
I mean,
hotel rooms, removing me in schemes at 1 a.m.,
yeah.
all different kinds, and hospitals, nothing's been done. CPS trying to report child abuse, nothing's been done there. I had a case at the Northern District Court for a civil case. They came there and interrupted me from checking on my case and gave me a criminal trespass, clear-cut obstruction of justice. Nothing's done. At FBI, removed me from FBI. Nothing repeatedly done. So I'm not quite certain how to interrupt this pattern if I'm being deprived of law enforcement.
But ma'am, you can try our office. I mean, you haven't been to our office. I don't know, how they work things out over there in Dallas, Fort Worth, right? But, I mean, we're here to help. You can always come to our office. You're welcome here. If you want to come in person, talk to someone in person. It'll be a lot better, you explaining everything to someone, them guiding you,
I'm not in that location anymore. I'm having problems finding the answer on how I got a court date for dismissed charges. And it's saying that it'll be a warrant out for my arrest for charges that I already served 4 months for. And it's happened before. Each time my abuser's mad, I get a case or a false arrest. And they're so desperate now, they're just emailing me arrests and cases and texting it to me. So I'm no longer in that area. You still help me remotely? Because this is where I had
I mean, we can do the application over the phone with me. We can still do it. I mean, are you in Travis County?
Can you please don't repeat my location again, ma'am? I document my calls, so I don't want you repeating that location again. Okay, so no, the problem of it is I just got a case mailed out. Okay, case text emailed to me. And I can't get anything resolved on what the case is, and I get these cases and don't know what they're about because I didn't do it. And I have false arrests, trying to catch the bus. 10 police have came up to me and arrested me in corruption and didn't want me to know why they were doing it. And to this day, I still don't know why I got arrested using transit. They intimidate me and bully me for trying to figure it out. All I know is my abuser didn't want me using transit, and I went to jail trying to use it. And nothing's been done regarding these repeated offenses and misconduct by the police department. But yeah, so do I need to try to seek help in that area? Because you said you can do it remotely for this new area I'm in?
Yeah, I mean, we can do it remotely, but most likely, since you're not in Travis County, I believe there is going to be some issues there.
Well, this is where all of the madness, this is where the police took my freedom for trying to report the death threats, trying to cover for it. And then I'm in a new safe location, and then they basically did the same thing. Tried to cover for multiple different death threats. Someone said they were going to poison me, put a bullet through my head. They were watching me. Time I went outside, I was going to be assassinated. They're going to poison my water supply and everybody by me. Multiple different death threats, and the police department did not want to investigate it. Cyberbullying online on multiple different sites, slander, pathological lies, and also cyber stalking with someone telling me what's going on in the background, and a witness to collaborate my story.
Do you want to apply for the protective order over the phone with me then?
Okay, yes. I'm just trying to show a history of corruption with police departments, and what kind of avenue do I have to protect myself against police?
I mean, I'm not too sure on that. I mean,
I thought there was a protective order you can get against crooked government officials. People don't really want me knowing a lot of information when it comes to my rights.
Not like that, no. I mean, is there... How would I explain it? I mean, it is a protective order, yes. And if you do know, like, their full legal names, you can get it against them, yes, and a good address for them. So if you have all of that, yes, the application would be valid. Now, it getting accepted, I'm not too sure. That would be later on in the process.
Well, since the corruption is so strong, I have to make minute steps. So since all the other police that took my freedom for profit were forgotten and had no accountability, I have to start with trying to get protection against police government officials that take bribes to violate me, stalk me, and enlist communities to violate my rights in other parties. So that's the beginning to file protection orders on each department of police that abuses their power.
I guess the first step, do you want to call the law library, the Texas Law Library? They help you out because I can't give you like
No, I mean, you said that if I had their
trained for
name,
that.
you said that if I had their name and their information, and then we went
Yes,
to
like
another direction.
Yeah, full legal name and the street address. If you have that, then yes, we can submit the application because that's the important thing that we need from them.
Right. I can. That's a possibility for me to do that. So yes, let's go ahead and do the application on who the person that's taking bribing government officials to harass and violate my rights and keep me away from.
Okay. We can start then. Yeah. Let me. Can I get their first name and last name?
It's Jason Gardner. That is correct. That's his business.
That's correct. That's his work. Okay.
That's his business. He owns it.
Okay. In Louisiana. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well,
They
go ahead
denied
and
me.
submit this.
This is part of the abuse. They denied me assistance, and I called the police to report it, and he covered for it because all domestic violence organizations sabotage or deny assistance that I've been to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Leave your message for 978498910. Sorry, mailbox is full. To send an SMS notification, press 5. Lily?
I'm not quite sure what certain word to contact. I served 4 months in jail on false charges, and they didn't give me. I did all kind of grievances with staff misconduct and abuse that weren't answered. Blatant lies by jailers that caused me to go in maximum security and be put in isolation and lockdown on blatant lies that was on camera footage. Then slandered in records, saying that I was mentally ill to cover up for arrest for trying to report death threats, deprived of my bonds and my constitutional right to appear at court for both the mental health case and the criminal cases that were derived in corruption. So where do I go to get a remedy for the misconduct and criminal activity?
I have no idea, ma'am. This is warrants. All I can do is let you know there is a warrant or there's not a warrant.
Okay, well, I need to know, can you place me on hold and figure out where I need to go to find out about grievances that were unanswered and find out who my judge was? I wrote multiple different letters and no one would tell me because they didn't want me writing the judge incriminating anyone. I wrote letters and did...
I have no idea, ma'am. You'd have to call the sheriff's office itself and then ask them those questions.
Okay, what's that? Do you have that number?
I can Google it for you.
Okay, thank you. I would think that, calling the jail to see why they didn't answer their own grievances would be a remedy, but I can't, like I said, being trapped by me being deprived of my constitutional right to appear at court, information while I was in jail on who my judge was. They didn't want to give me addresses so I could write. So I was trapped.
I have no idea, ma'am. I'll give you the number. It is 512-854-9770.
And that's 512-854-9770. And this is Del Valley Jail, and you have no way of knowing how to contact any jail.
This is not the jail. Again, this is the warrants. I can let you know there is a warrant. There is not a warrant. I gave you the number to the sheriff's office itself that you can contact.
Oh, is it impossible to contact the jail directly?
There is a number that you can press 1 for the jail. I'll give you that number as well.
Okay.
Let's see.
These numbers are routinely voicemails. I can't speak with years.
854-6220, and you'll be helped immediately. Thank you. Record your message.
They don't return my calls. Yes, this is Kiana Clark. I served time in Del Valley Jail and was mistreated, and they wouldn't answer grievances, slandered by jail staff, denied my constitutional right to go to court, framed with mental illness, and lied on to get me put in lockdown. All of it's visible on camera footage. I had an inmate threaten me, and then the guard made me go back to my cell and for punishment until I created a scene and let them know that other jails have been investigated for their abuse to me. Then they let me out. So there was a lot of abuse I experienced there, and putting fraudulent information in court documents I thought was criminal to try to conceal crimes. depriving someone of their constitutional rights. Conspiracy to violate rights is a felony charge, and these crimes repeatedly have been unaddressed. So if you can give me a call back at... Yes, I was forwarded over to the sheriff's office. I have a charge and don't know what the charge is about. And I
to Central Warrant. Hold on for a minute.
I just was transferred to warrant.
Travis County Central Warrants, this is Lily.
Yes, I have a court case and don't know what it's about.
Okay, this is warrant, so I can help you with looking at a warrant, or you have a warrant, or you don't have a warrant.
This has been happening years, ma'am. These calls are extremely mysterious. Since I've been targeted, I just get the runaround in games. This is distinctly,
I have no idea.
I'm just trying to establish a paper trail. That when someone...
Sorry.
Right, but I mean, why is it impossible to find out what a bogus charge is?
Ma'am, I cannot help you. I do not know.
You don't know what then you just refer me to the sheriff's office?
The sheriff's office, I gave you the number. I can't help you, ma'am. I have no idea.
Well, who does?
I'm in warrants, I can let you know warrants
do you have
or
a
not warrants.
Do you have a supervisor?
I do not know.
Do you have a supervisor?
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
Let's see if they know. You learn that something's amiss, no matter how incredible the story is. You don't call location to location in this voicemail, and everywhere you're calling, people are covering for crimes. And when you go report this to your provider, the police department comes 5-6 police deep, threatening your arrest and giving you a criminal trespass for reporting it. I've never seen anyone outside of myself that went to jail with their arrest threatened, and 5 or 6 police came to tell while they were trying to report mysterious events with their phone. I've never seen that. To the extreme to where my phone would cut off, my text would cut off, my data would cut off, repeatedly over and over. You have to prove something like that repeatedly keeps happening. So while I'm on hold, I tried to report the death threats here and issues going on with my phone. And the police wanted to cover for it. That's the update. They hung up. All that time on hold, and the call's disconnected. Panel. Yes, I have a. Do you have an officer I can speak with?
I'd have to have one call you back. I don't have one here in the dispatch center.
Okay. Can you do that? I'm having an issue. I may need to do a report. My phone does that. I've reported it routinely. But
what kind of report is it?
Well, when some kind of way when my abuser's mad, I get cases mailed out to me and false arrests.
Say that again. You got what mailed out to you?
I get cases emailed and mailed out to me, texted out to me, and false arrests when this person is upset. My abuser.
Okay,
is that something that I can report?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I'll have an officer call you. What is your name?